planning and zoning commission, we need a Democrat, it's the sixth, worse.
Oh, yeah.
Come on up with the one thing,
One minute.
come up with
That's what I
one.
want to do. Sounds like you want,
That
yeah.
is good.
Might be a little more difficult, huh?
Yeah, you should have migrated it. I know you drive this every day.
Hey, Al. Can you grab me an agenda? I gave everybody one but me.
So we are live now, because I think we have to go back.
I figured you'd have that on remote control.
Yep, I already got my post ready to go for tomorrow.
Do you?
Yep.
Well, my daughter-in-law, she just recently started working for Firefly in Anderson, which is, it's a social service agency, two agencies combined.
I'm sorry.
The kids also care of care agencies, so two agencies combined.
Are you gonna play color? You gonna march and just color code?
Yes.
He's lifting weights tonight.
Without.
No, and I'm not a flag boy.
No, pretty good job. It's a great idea. I do it for my residents. So like, now not only do I have to make pies for my 150 residents, I gotta make pies for her residents.
That's what we're there.
Well, that's, he's got a little thing there. Oh,
It's just better to keep it from going down any further.
What's that?
gotcha.
I don't know.
There you
Look like some maize.
go. There you go, I like that. I just feel like the flags, like I turn around and Tammy and I are just like flags.
Yeah, that's what, I would just go down and if I have, say like February, and I just have to change the people. I don't even have a thing where I could do the new motions, but we can take this out. Tell me, you might want to go through all your pile there.
Just come on in this way.
They don't pull there in there, huh?
Yeah, directly in.
Good. Hey, John.
Hey, Brent,
Hello.
you moved to town yet, Brent?
What's that?
You moved to town yet?
I have not.
I'm gonna ask you every time you shell out.
Yep.
Citizens. Oh, darn.
Oh,
What it is.
Because he still lives over here a lot.
Oh, are they?
They are. Yeah.
Front doors are locked, okay.
I just pulled the
Oh,
doorstop
you can give me
minute
the
ago,
folder if you
a couple
want.
minutes ago,
Okay.
so I wouldn't forget.
The folder is all your backup information for Pine Knocket.
This or the other thing?
Mr. Scott, how are you, sir?
All right, John.
Just peachy, just peachy.
Did you order this weather, John?
Yes, I did. I like this.
Thank you.
Well,
I didn't know I had that much influence, but I did.
we should. And then I can
Always take credit, John.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
Deny the blame, but take the credit.
That's right. There you go. Look like a true politician, aren't we?
just. What was his name?
Yeah. That was it.
I didn't know the one. Yeah. Yeah, let it go. It's a change.
Yeah, I'm sure. No, we fixed that, right? We fixed that like our first month or, yeah.
What?
Well, we went from 4 or 5.
Yeah, we increased
Because-
coverage.
I'm
Well,
going
that's
to.
our deductible.
Yeah.
Not deductible, our premium.
Oh, yeah. Down.
So I'm sorry, I don't have the agenda up on the monitors this week. I brought my laptop, didn't bring my bag, and I am one cable short of being able to throw it up there, but there are agendas on the pedestal.
In case we need.
Are you?
You got a USB-C port?
I do not, because I refuse to give up this laptop that does not have one.
Get one?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, mine, this won't do it, will it?
No, I need the cable to go
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have,
from my laptop to the wall.
no, I don't have that one, sorry. I got a bunch of others, but not that one.
Yeah, that's something I forgot to talk to John about.
At 7:00, the prayer and pledge. The flag this week is over there.
This kind of gave me, just keep moving it around.
Brad does, Brad enjoys it.
Fine.
Okay. I have a flag.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you that you are present. We thank you that you care. Lord, we pray for your guidance, direction in decisions that are made tonight. Might benefit the community and those involved. Thank you and praise in the name of Jesus.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amy, if you do the roll call.
Joe Scott,
Here.
Steve Rogan,
Yes.
Adam Jones,
Yes.
Tammy Carter. Yes. Tom Roberts.
Yes. got the board meeting minutes. Who would like, you guys all have a chance to review? Can I get to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the meetings as written.
I get a second.
One second.
All in favor? Anybody opposed?
Abstain.
All right. Financial reports. Tammy's got the reconcilement for passing the
Got the
revenues, receipt over to Joe. Steve has the annual financial report that goes to Gateway, so we'll kind of pull those in after everybody gets a chance to review, so we'll come back to that. Delaware County Regional Wastewater District report, pretty much standard stuff. We did get one on a timely basis, though. He's done a good job. They had to work at the White Castle a couple times, looks like, 2 or 3 times. Some disconnect list, nothing unusual, so if you want to see it, here it is, otherwise we'll move on.
Joe can write this up.
There you go.
We passed that report down on some minutes in here.
Claim docket, everybody had a chance to review, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the claim back.
For the amount of,
Yeah. Remember seeing it? Do not remember it.
It'll be on the front.
oh, that's it, yeah, I'll pass that too. Here it is.
In the amount of $147,394.17.
Can I get a second? Any questions, discussion? All in favor? Anybody opposed? If you guys don't know what, this is the, every year at this time, any files the Gateway reports, which are required. And we have to have a board review and approval to document. Right. All right, departmental reports. Joe, sanitation.
No problems, no, I'm calling later this week to confirm the porta potty, make sure they don't forget. And that's it.
All right, thank you.
We do have,
Oh, yeah, it's all over.
yeah, you might as well take care of that one too.
Yeah, curbside pickup for the town is, April 22nd. And the dumpsters will be here on the 23rd.
It's a dumpster out in front of town hall, old town hall.
It was recycling.
We had to move it because they had all the gravel and everything.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
So we need to get, because that's early, about 2 or 3 weeks early at least, so let's get the notice out there.
That was April the 22nd.
22nd, 23rd.
Yeah, the 21st is when they'll do all the pickups, curbs.
That's right. It's weird.
Any other questions for Joe? Any questions for Joe? Okay. Water, everything's, as Brad said, the water is flowing. We do have an item. There is a, we need to put a roof on,
Oh, yeah.
on the building, and we had a quote from, we asked for a couple quotes, we got one from Noah Schwartz. And Noah has done metal roofs in this area to a few people. And he gives a quote for the utility of $4,500. And he actually gave us a quote from the town hall, but we're not ready to, I don't know if we're ready to make a commitment to putting a roof on that yet. But the 4,500, he actually called me today and he says the prices of metal for some reason dropped this month. And he says, and word has it, it's gonna go higher than it was in February and April. He says, so he was able to cut $500 off the amount, 5,000 to make it 4,500. Brad said he suggested a black one and it's metal. So can I get a motion? Comes out of water utility.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve replacing the roof on the water plant for $4,500.
Can I get a second?
Second that.
Any discussion?
What was the number on that?
Should we,
4,500.
is it 45 flat or should we just make it 46?
It's gonna be flat, but I guess it doesn't hurt to say up to 46.
Up to 4,600.
Give it a little buffer.
So, we have a second from
Could be.
you. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think there's anything else in water already. Okay. Tammy signed off on the bank reconciliation, so we're good there. Has everybody got the gateway?
I think Joe's.
Okay, Joe's looking, okay. When we get done looking at it, then we'll go back and approve, we have to officially approve it. And we'll give everybody a chance to review it first. That's everything for water. Anybody have any questions? All right, streets. We've got a couple, we got a project going into the state to be, to seek a grant. And so we're hoping that'll come out good. Other than that, I don't know if anything else going on, other than, what's that? Are you looking for?
Went that way.
That's it, that's us.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
I did, I know.
Amy's the only one.
So I got a question on the streets. I don't know the exact location, but I was under the impression that we had at this point resurfaced our streets in town.
We missed at least one, is my understanding.
We're talking about the same one, Albert?
I don't know. No, but Albert's not, we're not gonna do Albert because it's torn up right now. My guess it was done. And yeah,
Okay.
Albert is torn up with the stormwater project.
Okay, that's
Right
right.
down the middle of it, and they'll refinish it when everything gets settled and they're ready to start finishing.
So, okay, Major had mentioned it today, and I thought that that one was done, so that makes sense, it's just part of the stormwater.
Yeah, they took it right down the middle of the street. So, yeah. So anyway, and I heard that Spring Street was actually missed. And so we've added that to a project. So. All right, no questions. We'll move on. Planning and zoning.
Oh,
Anything?
so has everybody knows, in regards to streets, has everybody knows that the speed limit signs have changed?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so that,
The ones are up that say, oh.
Yeah.
So we were able to eliminate some of the signs around town. So
basically cover our bases and. Okay.
planning and zoning. Kristen.
We didn't have really anything new. We just appointed Amy Morgan and myself to the BZA board.
All right, thank you.
We're still looking for. Ready?
At least an additional person, right?
Yeah,
And they
it's
need to
a
be
citizen
updated.
that's not a planning and zoning board member,
And they need to be a Democrat.
Democrat.
And they need to be a Democrat, the Democrat Party.
Maybe we can get a list of all the Democrats.
I'll try to get one.
Okay, thank you. Police, James.
I spoke with Adam and Tom earlier. Part of our settlement was to make sure that the officers have non-lethal force on their belts. So I got a quote from Taser on the T7s, and the quote come out to $21,726.40. But they also have a lease program, and after the lease, they become ours. We discussed doing the 5-year lease, which comes out, I believe, it'll be a little over 4,000 or 5,000.
Yeah, it's right at 4 to 5.
Yeah.
That's the lease,
So-
the Taser equipment.
Yep, and we have tasers, but they're about 10 or 12 years old. So it's time to actually go and get the new ones. And these are the brand new tasers that they're coming out with, is the T7. I asked for 8, so each one of the paid officers will have one. We will take the older ones that we have now that are still in pretty good shape, and we'll move those over, and we'll keep them in the squad room for the reserves.
And it's at least, so long.
Yeah.
Lease out for 5 years.
So all I would need is a vote from you guys, giving me the approval to go ahead and move forward with the lease.
I'll make a motion to move forward with the T7 tasers with a 5-year lease to own.
I'd second that.
So it's the 21,000, is that for the 5 years?
Yes.
Okay.
And you want to add, James, that we talked about that we're going to ask the school to cover the first year?
Yeah, we're gonna, out of the SRO, since we have 2 police officers that's down there. First year's lease would actually be about what their tasers and their equipment would be. So we would take the first year lease out of, which is $4,848 out of the SRO account. And plus doing the lease program, we're also saving $969.60 a year.
Any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Sorry about my voice, but I woke up this morning thinking I was a 14-year-old kid. My voice again, or
Thinking you were 14-year-old. So you got it better, right?
John, I would like to get with you because we have one of the Humvees back there, and I've had people ask me about it.
Okay.
And it's actually fallen off the list now, so it's something that we can remove. And we've actually had offers between 15 and 20,000 for it. So I would like to check with you and see how we can do this.
Okay, I can do that.
All right, that's it.
Thanks, James.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, meet me at 9. I'm heading back upstairs, finish my I paperwork. got
a Yeah, I got a question for you too.
Okay.
Did you look into that vehicle down there?
Yeah, they did tow one car out of there. I think it was a black vehicle, but there's another one that's a gold GMC, I think, Terrain. I went down and looked at it, and there's no license plate on it. Come to find out, they bought it for their son, and they're gonna put plates on it. I gave them 30 days. If the plates aren't on it, then we'll tag it, and then we'll move it.
I appreciate it.
That's on the hilltop.
Yes, the house where all the kids run out in front of everybody.
I am aware.
Yeah, but they were given 30 days to put the plates. If the plate's not on it, then we'll tag it after the 30 days, and we'll wait that grace period, and we'll tow it. Yep, no problem.
House
Oh,
going up
and-
the hill,
Do you
right around the corner from you.
do you have an update on the Wolfcom?
They've got black meat in here.
Yeah, I've already signed the paperwork. I signed the paperwork in February.
I wrote Brad,
Left or
I
right?
haven't heard anything.
You're going up the hill.
Brad didn't want us to pay until
The garage
we
door
got
always-
the grant.
Right.
We got the grant, but I don't know how much it was for, so I could set it up and go ahead and pay.
I will send you the paperwork. When I go up there, I'll find her thing.
Because even if we
Because
have
it's
nothing
got a
checked,
breakdown of what we pay and then what the,
yeah, because I want to know the matching, so I know how to.
I think we pay like
They're right across.
$5,480 some dollars. Then the rest of it was our match.
Okay,
So when I get up there, I'll send you
yeah,
all
just
that.
send it all to me,
Yeah,
so
I'll
I
even
can,
send you the signed document
because
that I
Katrina
have.
gave it to me to,
Yeah, he is. We're
Ask
safe.
about it.
Wolfcom sometimes a pain in their ear.
huh?
said sometime.
Quarter of a
sometime
century.
Oh, yeah, they're like, they think
Yeah.
they're the only ones and,
Okay, I know.
yeah, 'cause this is like total bill $6,800.
Yeah, so I think our half was around 15.
Yeah.
So,
And that way I know what to, okay. That's all you-
I good.
Yeah. We're done. Okay, so we've already talked about it.
So, park department, anybody, anything from the park?
Yes, the Parks Department received a proposal from Jeff's Flavored Snow LLC. They worked out an agreement. It's been approved by the Park Board, and we need town board approval. I have it here in front of me. I go through all the details, but basically what it is, propose paying an annual rent of $1,400 for approximately 4 months over the course of the season. This proposal is for 3 years with an option to extend the contract after 2 years. Either party may terminate within 6 months' notice at the end of each season. So in other words, it's going to be a 3-year contract. Either party has to give a 6-month notice if they want to stop the contract, end the contract. And then at the end of 2 years, it'll come up, there'll be an option to extend for another 2 years at the end of the 3rd year if they want to. Everything else is pretty standard procedure. They're the owners. They sell food. What else? They're paying part-time employees $9 an hour. The rest is just standard boilerplate stuff. So I'm proposing that the board accept this proposal from Jeff's Flavored Snow. Tom will have to recuse himself. Excuse me, accuse himself. So I need that's my motion. Is there any, would be a second?
I'll say.
Any discussions?
Do we ever have to let anyone else like rebid or?
Like a request for a proposal,
Yeah.
RFP? You don't have to.
I know the park board discussed that, correct? And they were happy with the arrangement, and there was an increase, is that, okay, there was an increase to the payment. And I'm good with it in the fact that we are not, even though it's an extended contract, we aren't tying the future board to it because there is a 6-month exit notification. So they could come in and say, no.
Or we as a board, if there's something else.
Yes.
We can do that, we can do that.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah, I'm good with just, in instances like that, I just don't like my decision time, a future board, on something like that. So I'm good with it.
You're the vice president.
Okay, well, then we'll open it up for a vote. I think we should do yes, no vote.
Do a roll call, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Tammy Carter,
Yes.
Steve Brogan,
Yes.
Adam Jones,
Yes.
Joe Scott,
Yeah.
Tom Roberts.
Abstain. All right, anything else from park?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, we do.
You got something else? I might have
Um,
missed something, because I just stepped out.
The park board wants to make sure, it's actually, we're gonna go to one of your things down here, the park events with alcohol. Our park coordinator had researched, and we've done the adult night at the splash pad before. And, so the town council may approve beer and wine sales in the park. Permit cost with ATC is $50 per event. We have 2 licensed bartenders that we can use. If they are not available, we would have to hire one. There's several sponsors already are willing to sponsor this event. However, we've already received a quote to add liquor liability to our insurance. if we went event by event, it would be $50 with the ATC per event. If we get a ordinance written showing our policies for the alcohol in the park and for events, then it would be less. And we can do it not by event basis, but all one fee. Does that make sense? Because the way she was explaining it to me. It's in that email that she had sent.
What was the insurance increase?
Well, we were trying to figure that out because basically it combines the liquor license along with event. So they kind of combined our event policy with the liquor license.
Did we get it by email or?
Well, I don't know who she sent it to because I just got it on here. The park department just talked about it. It was on, that's the only reason I have that. Anyway, but I don't know the exact cost, but it was not major. I
Well, I
asked
guess,
for a breakdown, but I haven't gotten it back from the insurance carrier.
yeah, that's the only thing that I've been,
I mean, it's not, it didn't sound, and we've had it before because we had it for the adult night splash pad last year.
yeah, these are money-making events.
Right, and so that's, basically, that's what we're doing it for. That is a moneymaker. And if we did it a blanket or whatever they want to call it, you could do it at, have, sell concerts if someone wanted to.
We would cover incidentals, basically.
Right, there you go.
Yeah, I'm totally for it. I just want to make sure our expenses don't outweigh.
No,
what we-
we've already got that covered. So,
Okay.
But it's
Okay.
really not that much more. Usually I haven't seen
Yeah.
anything, but
Yeah, this is the first level of liquor license too, it's not.
yeah, it's just for beer and wine. That's all.
Which may-
So what do we need, a motion, some kind of?
So we need it in the minutes that you're approving the events. The
Do we need to create an ordinance?
it would help us if you do an ordinance, but I figured I've got some samples that we can go through and I don't know what all has to be on it, so.
John, you guys want to jump in here at all, or?
Sure, I'm happy to create the ordinance if you want to send me what you have. I can write it and I can put it all.
So we'll need.
These are just samples.
Okay, sure.
We're okay to put this next month?
The ordinance, yes, but if we wanted
Thank
to,
you.
that you're approving it in the minutes.
That we want to move forward.
Right, yes.
With the-
That you're approving to have events in the park and an ordinance is coming or something to that
Okay,
effect.
so
So,
can I get a motion that way?
All right, I'll make a motion that we are approving having events that would include alcohol in the park, and that we should create a ordinance to streamline the process, the permitting and insurance process.
I will second, but I would like to see that they have the insurance in place for the full time. Because it's that one time you need it that you don't have it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
and we've already got it. They've already added it for it's sitting on my desk. I guess.
Who is going to be the vendor going to sell the alcohol?
We have licensed bartenders.
Well, they can serve it, but who's
Serve
selling it?
it. The way I understand it, we would be getting a sponsorship of a monetary sponsorship, and then that money would be used to buy the alcohol, is what I was told.
Well, you need a vendor that has a license to be able
Okay.
to sell the alcohol.
Like the
You have to have-
American Legion
right.
could sponsor that they get,
Use
you
their
don't have
license,
the license to.
So it doesn't matter if you
It's
have
still
the,
need it.
yeah, I don't know anything.
So it's between the serving, someone serving. with
You have to have-
license.
Somebody
Yeah.
licensed to serve it.
You have to have someone to serve it, but that's not the person selling it
Right.
because they can only serve it.
Yeah.
License.
If they didn't
So-
buy it, they can't buy it and
No,
sell it, they
that's
have to
right.
serve it. I have my
And that may
bartender's
be
license, so
something
I
that-
know.
So there's
I just don't have the information on. I don't know if that was in.
middleman that has been lobbied into the wall.
Yes.
Is there anything in that email that she had sent about? Okay, okay.
Yeah, there has to be a vendor to sell the alcohol. There
Okay.
has to be a server to serve the alcohol. Part of Indiana's arcane alcohol beverage laws, every state has their own. So you have to have a vendor
Like a license.
that be able to sell the alcohol.
You do.
The town, I don't think the town can have a license on its name.
I get it, yeah, yeah,
License to consume.
and it can't be the town, it's
Right.
gotta be.
Because like in Daleville, you only have so many licenses
Right.
in this area that are permitted.
So we can buy it from,
No.
we can't buy it like from the Legion, from Elbert.
We would try
They
to
would have to sponsor that. They would have to actually have to buy it, bring it, and then your bartender could serve it.
Right,
You can't get $500 and go buy $500 worth of alcohol.
Nope.
And sell it, that's illegal.
Okay, but if they sponsor it for the amount that it would cost us for the alcohol and then bring it to us, we can serve it.
But it has to be a
They have-
licensed
they have to have the
vendor
license, right.
Okay.
Exactly, right. They have
to
to,
sponsor.
They have that.
no, they're not sponsoring it, they're gonna be the vendor.
Okay,
They have to be the vendor.
have
So
to
you would have the
license.
American Legion would be the vendor, selling the alcohol.
For example, the American Legion would have to have a permit to sell it off of their premises.
Correct, that's
because
exactly right. That's the other thing that they have to have. You have to have a, well, they would
It's
have, in essence,
premises
what's called a catering permit.
Mhm.
The alcohol vendor would have to have a catering permit, be able to sell off their premises.
Yes.
that's why the last time they did this,
When
Mr.
we-
Mouse came in
Yes.
and
Yeah.
did the whole thing. Mr. Mouse came
When
in
we
and did.
did the car show, the Grand Prix for the go-kart racing, the Legion had to sell it on their property because they had the means and their bartenders to serve. So, because they have their own liability.
Right.
Because if you overserve someone, then they could say, it was the bartender said, no, I only bought $200 worth of alcohol, there's no proof. So that person has to.
So the licensed vendor
And it-
needs to also have a catering, even if they, just because for them to bring it to.
The
Correct.
Legion
Yep.
couldn't bring it down to the town hall and sell
Okay,
it.
could we just buy it off Monarch then, is that what you're saying?
No.
No,
You can't.
So the Legion can do
For
it if they have a
example,
cater.
for example, the Legion does not have a carry
Oh,
out
carry out.
license.
I see.
So you can't go in there and buy a 6-pack of beer because they don't have that license.
Right.
Now at Albert's, they have that license that you can buy it and take it. So I think
But-
they have a vendor's license.
But do they have a catering permit license?
I don't know any of that.
Because there's a difference between the catering license and the package store license.
Yeah.
The package store is just, you and I walk in there, we buy our 6-pack, we go home with it. That doesn't mean that I can then take it to the town hall and sell it.
Yeah. There's a lot of liability.
There are a lot of rules.
There's a
They
lot
don't
of
make enough.
liability.
Purpose, okay, because I asked Trina. And she talked to Excise, and Excise sent her this big thing here. I can let you read it. It says, she spoke directly to Excise, that's the purpose of a temporary permit for on-service premise consumption with a licensed bartender. And this is what this. So, read it. I don't know what that is.
Sounds like that needs to go to John.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying
Oh,
we
wait, here,
don't
let me send it
take
to
excise work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is done.
Yeah, it's definitely something
Yeah.
you
Don't
would
shop for the
want.
answer you're looking
I
for.
agree with Tammy, there's
Hey,
a high
John,
level of
I want to send
liability.
this.
Okay.
Let me send it to your email.
Then you
Yep,
wanna
yep,
go back to
I got my
how much
computer up.
is the
It's
liability
J-
for the umbrella policy
J.
that we
Brooke
currently have. Maybe it's time
at
to increase that.
BSLawgroup.com.
.com.
We upped it to $4
We
Probably
just
should
did.
do it
No,
again.
We did it
No,
2
we
years
didn't.
ago.
Oh, 2
years
years
ago.
ago, yeah, just.
Probably
So yeah,
something
whatever I'm
we
sending you
haven't
is what she received
Okay.
Especially with the new
for a temporary beer and wine permit application.
building over there, you've got more liability there.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I don't know, insurance is my thing, so.
Yeah, we should add that to the.
That'd be real helpful.
Probably.
And it's not for liquor, she's wanting to make clear it's beer and wine.
And it really doesn't matter if it's liquor or wine or beer, it's still the same rules that.
Yeah, The only thing
apply.
that matters is for the insurance liability,
Okay.
because liquor,
Yeah.
ramps up
Liability.
potential.
Could you speak
So-
faster?
Absolutely.
We really.
Like shoot off fireworks.
Really fast.
Okay.
Okay, so what's the motion?
Is there anything we can do tonight?
Do you need it tonight?
No?
Okay, then I would just table this until,
Until next month.
Okay. We're not gonna take one.
So how fast can we put it together, John, once, like we could suspend the rules and get the ordinance in place?
absolutely.
Okay, so
There's
So in other words, the board is willing to go that direction as long as it is not too much work.
Right.
Got it. Okay.
And we're leaving.
And we-
Okay. So anything else in the park?
Yes, park adjacent was the discussion that we had with James earlier. Wesco,
Well, with the
with the expansion of Wesco, they have a tremendous amount of dirt that they need to get rid of. And we offered some loads out here to help get some actual ground dirt out here. So grass will grow, things like that. We're not throwing rocks into the windows. And the remainder to go down to Shellbarger Park to be added to the
the
existing.
amount that's already there.
Yes, yeah.
Good idea.
So free dirt and we get something out of it.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Oh, I see.
You guys, you're done. You guys have matching jackets on tonight?
Yes, we're twinsies today.
This is a club.
We called and made arrangements.
Tammy, we've been waiting on you to be here to offer you the great position of ADA Title VI Coordinator. Would you take that?
No.
Thank you. You're still looking for somebody. All right. Well, all right, new business. ARP solar update.
Yep, we are ready to proceed. The area has been marked, utilities have been located. Brad knows exactly where he needs to cut the street, like a little 6-inch wide section to put a 4-inch piece of conduit in. We have gotten a bid for the fence, the only bid that we were able to get. That was from Top Choice?
Top fence.
Top
choice.
Choice.
Oh, I got this top fence. It's called Top Choice.
Yes. Yeah, and I think that was in the amount of 20, let's call it 25,500. Which was like 30,000 less than what they wanted it packaged in, well, 26 less than what they wanted it packaged in with
Less than
the,
half the price.
yeah, solar bid. And this will meet the Indiana regulatory code for the type of fence and all of the pieces and parts and grounding requirements and all that stuff to make our field legal. And then at which point we can beautify it with greenery and whatever else we want to do.
Now, that is a all galvanized chain link with two 14-foot double gates, slats all the way around.
Yeah, those are the privacy slats. And then we will get 30% of that back because it's tied directly into the solar project.
$25,550 is what the quote.
Okay.
So can we get a motion?
Right there.
And this is paid out of the ARP or the ed.
Gotta have it. Make motion that we approve the construction of the fence requirement for the solar field at 25,500.
Can I get a second?
Oh, go ahead.
Joe seconded. Discussion?
Yeah, the part I'll add, we did not have to do this at the water plant because the entirety of the water plant property was fenced in with a fence that met the requirements, and the offset from the solar to the fence was far enough that it did not have to have a grounding requirement.
So, Since it's 25,000, let's go with roll call.
And that's 30% back, right,
Yeah.
from the solar?
Yeah, so the entirety of the project, once it is complete, we will be eligible to apply for the federal 30% rebate.
So that's 7,500 bucks.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Steve Brogan,
Yes.
Adam Jones,
Yes?
Joe Scott,
Yes.
Tammy Carter,
Yes.
Tom Roberts.
Yes.
We will want to beautify that up. 'Cause that's not gonna be a very pretty looking thing initially. We'll probably hear some feedback. So we need to be aware of that. And so if anybody asks, we're gonna do whatever we can to create landscaping, whatever. Make that look nicer,
Who's going to maintain?
It's going to be landscape.
beautiful.
Well, we should put in low maintenance stuff,
Right, right.
evergreen, shrubbery, things like that, that just kind of do their thing. The idea is to create a green wall, right?
Yeah. The important thing now is just to fence it because they can't, it's part of the solar panel. So, all right, we're ready to move on to stormwater update. We have a couple things in here. One is we need to address what we call alternate 2 and approve it tonight. It's a project that we were hoping would get completed when they put a proposed or a potential addition out east of town. However, that's kind of been put on hold. And so May Street area needs to be done. And so it's $164,197,000, and that takes up most of our contingent money that's in the project. There's still $20,000 to $30,000 left. However, and so the SRF fund, who controls our money for most of this, would like to have a letter for us saying if we go over the 30,000 contingency for anything, that we would cover that as a town. So we have the money available at IR to cover that kind of thing. But we really need to do this project. So I guess what I need to do is ask you for a motion first.
Main Street is one of the worst
Yes.
flooding areas in town.
Yeah. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion that we proceed forward with alternate 2, alternate 2.
Okay, 164,000.
197.
Yeah.
197. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, discussion.
Yeah, I want to make sure, once we approve this, because really it should have been in the original project, that they run by us things that are going to come out of contingency. I know that right now we've got that issue over off of Heroes Lane with, they originally were going to run the drainage right through the middle of somebody's property.
Actually, it's gonna go, I had a piece of paper. Here's like the property, and it was coming here, and it went like this.
Yeah.
See that?
To go around
Did you
it.
see it with that? And so now the guy says, no, I'm sorry, this is messed up because the house isn't involved. Now the gentleman says, just run it straight across. However, we have manholes. Well, we have manholes right here. All 4 of those are specially made manholes that were built for this. So we have a manhole park now because we own those. So there's going to be some additional costs. The pipe itself will be, it's cut shorter, so they're going to save some money there. And they're going to have to get 2 new manholes.
Brad was saying that he might be able to source those.
He thought so, but he wasn't too sure after we talked.
Okay, so that back.
Yeah.
We can't dig up the other manholes and reuse them that are already there.
No.
Yours are the precast.
Yeah.
To
And
put
it's,
out
it's all,
the
and it's all on a certain level, is my
Right.
understanding, you know? So,
Is
anyways,
an easement through that guy's property?
that's what they're doing right now.
Okay.
So that should be done by Commonwealth. Darren said tonight or tomorrow.
Good.
So,
Yeah, hey, Eli, I want to make sure that this doesn't end up costing us a fortune out of pocket.
right. Okay, so you seconded? Any other discussion? Let's do roll call.
You're talking about Hero Lane, where's that?
Well, it's Hurley's.
Oh.
Dave Hurley's property. The new
Okay,
barn back
yeah.
there, his house, new house.
Right.
He's been really cooperative with us and everything. It's been great. So, but he didn't realize that this was going to take down his tree line until they showed up with the equipment to take down the trees. And so he just happened to run over and said, no. And so we worked it out.
Plus it probably tears up a lot less of his property.
It does. Yeah. It makes more sense. I think it drains everything much better too.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Good time to do it.
Yeah.
As well. It'll be like it never happened midsummer.
all right, I think we're ready. Anybody else? Discussion?
Steve Rogan,
Yes.
Adam Jones,
Yes.
Tammy Carter,
Yes.
Joe Scott,
Yes.
and Tom Roberts.
Yes. All right, then. Let me think about this. Oh, application, where's the application? I mean, is it in here? Application payment, is it in here as well? Yeah. Let's see it in here.
It's everything you asked to have printed.
There's a payment application we have to print tonight. And it's a typical, let me pull it out. Should go on for a second. Amy, you want to talk about Newtown Hall?
Oh, I've talked to Sarah Schaefer, who was going to do the mural, and she is going to just do a large painting of the same picture we were going to do. So it was the same thing we discussed last month about her doing that. So
And where's that gonna go again?
it's just, instead of a mural on the wall, I got here, like the wall, it'll be just a large picture like the Clevenger pictures. It's gonna be the train, the old interurban train station with the train in front of it. So I did confirm that she'll, I don't have a timeline for it yet. She had a couple projects ahead of it, so.
I'm definitely willing to go back into the original discussion about the mural. The fence thing's not gonna work out how we hoped with the ability to put a mural on that. And it would be nice to have some form of piece of artwork, here that will not, I guess, fade and be subjected to elements and things like that. So,
And well, it's basically she can do a painting the size of what that is, on much less than what a mural would be, because the mural was gonna take up the entire wall over the doorway. And so if we're looking at cutting costs that way, then, it's more like around $300 compared
okay.
to 5,000 or 4,500, so.
Yeah.
Totally works for
Because it's a
me.
much shorter project, that's what.
You just sold that.
So,
Yes.
is there anything we need to do?
It's already been approved, right?
Yeah, you guys pretty much had approved that, I just given an update that I talked to her and.
Okay, so we move on. I have it again. I have to find that because we have to get it passed tonight.
Was it the email that you asked me to print?
It might have been, but it's
It
just,
had 3 attachments on the email, that's the 3 things I gave you.
I've got the letter, and I've got the alternate two. But I'm missing the
Look on the,
payment application.
is it on the back of something?
I don't think so. This is on the video. And in the meantime, I'll find it.
Oh, and there is something else, if you're still looking.
Yeah.
The landscaping company that the park approved was the daily rate landscaping, and we'd already talked about it, but we do need the contract signed. We're going to get, well, there's the contract. They're gonna install black mulch, mulch installation, spring cleanup, fall cleanup, weekly maintenance, shrub and ornamental tree pruning, and then, we did a reduction for, he's going to sponsor a movie, so it'll be $8,130 for the landscaping, which is over $2,000 less than the other quote that we had, so. We approved that in our park board, so we need that signed by the president, looks like. And then he also gave a quote for maintaining this area out here, bushes and mulch and weeding, weekly maintenance, edging, 21 week of maintenance, mulch installation, initial weeding and shrub pruning, and then at our old town hall to remove all the mulch and edging and haul away the mulch and put river rock in where all the mulch is around the old town hall, since we don't necessarily need that landscaped as much now, since it's not. There is a quote for that, and that's $6,691. Now you can pick and choose,
What's it?
but you can pick and choose what you want off of there. If you don't want to do it all, this is for Old Town Hall to clean it up,
Tear
to
out all the shrubs.
all the shrubs and stuff around at the town hall, replacing all the mulch with gravel, river rock, and doing a weekly maintenance on it. Now, that's not the rain gardens are in the park part. The park's paying for that part. This would come out of a different budget.
Let's just do this one first.
Okay, and that's fine, that's
So
fine.
can I-
If you want,
So can I get a motion for the first one? This is the yearly thing we do for the
Park,
splash pad area.
it's a local business that's sponsoring events too.
$8,130 is the total.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve the daily rate landscaping bid of $8,130 for landscaping of the park.
And know that we've tried to do this on our own, and it's a disaster. So, can I get a second? Okay, discussion?
It just seems like we're paying an awful lot of money on landscaping. I know a lot of people in town are concerned about the landscaping down 32 and all of that. Is there
Concerned about it.
about the amount of money that's being paid out when we have lawnmowers?
So the CSX
Yes,
agreement that
yeah, I
paid
know that
for,
they pay for
Yeah.
some of it.
that was covered. Basically just the initial, basically taking the liability to do that first sweep down the tracks. They've already done that. And so now you can see where all of the CSX equipment's at and things like that. So that was, in my mind, that was money well spent, because we didn't have to worry about hitting a crossing controller or something like that.
And then the rest of the year, Brad and them are taking care of it.
And
Okay.
the CSX will be paying for it.
Yeah.
That landscaping is for the park area. Rain garden.
That's the only landscaping we're paying for right
Right now, and there's a proposal for that or something. I want to deal with this first.
Yes.
So, okay, any other, anything? All right. Want to do a roll call?
Adam Jones,
Yes?
Steve Brogan,
now. Yes.
Timmy Carter,
Yes.
Joe Scott,
Yes,
Tom Roberts.
Yes.
You signed it?
Okay, now, jump back to where I was at. Payment application number 2. It's been signed off on by the engineer. I'll have to sign off on it too, we'll get it printed tonight and I'll sign it. I need a formal motion for the next, this one is for $320,618.59. So that's the work basically they've done since the last time I paid them. There's still $1.5 million left to be paid out.
This is stormwater.
So I need a motion for this.
What was that amount again?
$320,618.59.
So this is the first installment.
Second.
Second.
First one was $154,135.12.
Is this submitted through the SRF loan as
This is
well?
what you submit.
That's what I'm
This is pay
asking. Is it
request,
to be
yes.
submitted?
This is pay request.
Yeah.
During the course of the project.
Yeah. We're on pay request number 13.
Well, this is number 2 for the actual project, the construction.
Oh, so that's construction?
Yes, this will be construction pay request.
So do I get a motion?
So, I mean, can we streamline this and just do it so that we make a motion to approve all payments?
No,
No.
Yeah.
you gotta,
We
you
have to
gotta
approve
approve each
this
and
one.
This is critical because it's part of the grant. $320,618.59.
320,800 and what?
$618.
I guess where I was going, it seems redundant because we approved the project up to a certain amount.
Well, but the pay requests are draws upon your
How about that?
loan, and you have to approve the work that's being done because they're billing you not only for the work done, but they're also billing you for moving pipe and getting stuff in line and laying stuff there so that you have to approve all the work that they've done or they anticipate being done for each of these pay requests.
And I know that we have a monthly meeting that they have to take minutes, we have to sign off. It's very, very detailed and technical about what they have to do to comply with the grant.
It'd be great if we were all, engineers.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, that's why you trust
Yep.
Commonwealth engineer who signs off on it. So,
Right, because they're taking some liability too, because
right.
if it's not in the ground, which happened in Muncie about 40 years ago, then the engineer can get sued because they're the ones verifying that this work has been done.
Mhm.
I mean, you obviously know that work is being done. You can drive around town and see everything's messed up. So,
yeah, the problem is you don't know if it's working or not because they have everything, at the moment, they've got everything filtered up so that you're not sucking in all the dirt and gravel and things like that. So we have no idea that it's actually functioning.
There's a retainage amount too, is there?
1.5 million.
They're holding back 10 or 20%.
Yeah, it balances out. See if I can see the retainage part of it. It's usually 10%.
Yeah, usually it's 10% of the pay
I don't
request.
see it identified separately here. It just says balance to finish, including retainage on line 3. That's the whole contract, line 4.
So I have a question, and I don't know if you know if I need to ask the SRF people, or once, like right now, we're going through an amount. Once we're done with that amount, where am I submitting payments to?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Once you go through that amount, then that's it.
Well, you said there was something after that, though.
well, there's SRF money, and then we got a grant that matched it.
Oh, is that the USDA grant?
Yeah,
Yes,
Then
So
you submit that to rural
submit it to
development.
USDA.
the Commonwealth will handle all
I don't have to submit to the grant, then I just
of
handle
that.
the
I
bond.
don't know, we just have to talk to the Aaron as we get closer.
You will have to submit it. Commonwealth will prepare the paperwork to send to the grant, but you'll have to submit it.
Okay, because I do all the bond stuff now, so that, I just,
Yeah, that's,
okay.
you'll submit it to USDA, rural development.
So I need a motion still.
All right, and this is for the
Stormwater.
stormwater.
Pay application number 2. The minutes have to reflect that it's pay application number 2.
The application. All right, write it all down. All right, so, propose that we approve the $320,618.59 payment, application number 2 for the stormwater project.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Can we do an all in favor? Let's do all in favor. All in favor? Anybody opposed? If you would like to see the payment application, I will, matter of fact, I thought I'd send it, but I'll send it tomorrow morning to everybody, so you'll have a record of it. I'm trying to do that, it gets so busy. Then I have to send in a letter also, I think I told you, but basically if there's any overage over the contingency from that alternate number 2, that we will cover it. And so that's part of that has to go into this. So, all right, thank you. Now what do we got? Election cycle.
Steve, yeah.
Yeah, John can kind of report a little bit on that. I don't know if you're done yet, John. I'm not
Nope.
trying to hurry you. Okay, that's fine. But once again, we were asked whether we would like to align our elections with the election years. That's for the state election and of course national elections. And so John's looking into that. There are with 2 or 3 other entities and town entities in Indiana that are looking into this as well. So John's trying to.
The clerk reached out for me to poll all of my municipal clients in Delaware County and see if there's any interest in moving, because Eaton, Albany, you guys, and some are all on odd number of municipal elections. And they all indicated they were willing to take a look at that. So I thought I would do the work and share the cost among all the communities. So
Right.
you're paying 1/4 of what
Right.
it would take instead of paying the full load for everybody.
It's good though.
And then the question that I had, John, was also, well, actually one that Adam raised, he didn't know, I think initially, was this ordinance that we did for staggered terms, if that ordinance would be affected by that change.
No,
Because we have specific years in the ordinance.
you have specific years, but actually that is the first step in moving everybody to a even year election. Because now you're gonna have 2 people that are gonna be in an even year election.
Okay.
So you'll just have to, and since the statute says no, you cannot have a majority of the board change their terms
Mhm.
in an ordinance, you're gonna have to do another ordinance for 2 members and another ordinance for 1 member. So it's gonna take some time to get there.
All right, that's all I have. Thanks, John.
Let's go back and do that, address landscaping, other landscaping item. So can you talk about that again? What's that for?
It was basically for
The town hall.
the old town hall, there's mulch. And the mulch, you end up replacing a lot more than you do river rocks. The suggestion was put river rock in all the places where there's mulch over there, except for, well, that's part of the park. So basically, it's around town hall and edging and the initial weeding and shrub pruning, because our estimate is not for town hall. It's for the splash pad area and, well, some of the parking lot and over, but it doesn't include the building, basically around the building, it doesn't include. So, this was just, I just told him, go ahead. And then we have a strip out here that has those bushes and mulch and edging, and if we're not going to take care of that ourselves, then that would be, now, we take care of our mowing, no problem, out there, but as far as I mean, it's a whole new thing with the new building, so I told him to throw that in there too, but you can pick and choose the service you want, or you've done it all, doesn't matter, this describes it, you guys can look at it. He has it divided up there, like for new town hall, old town hall, basically just.
So if we didn't do anything, we'd be just having Brad and
Yeah.
company spreading new mulch
New mulch, weeding the bushes,
rock.
trimming the
or
bushes.
rock, or rock, you know.
Like right now, it's mulch and the bushes right out here. And that's really the only spot, because they already mow behind. And
I don't think there's, so that's just taking care of that, landscaping that area and on a weekly basis, weeding it. I'm not sure, is that what we have on there? Yeah, weekly weed pulling and edging and, yeah. If you don't want to mess with it, it's fine. I just, since he was doing our,
Hold off. but
since he was doing our
If
part,
you guys wanna,
I just
I'm
have
not inclined to spend that kind of money for that work. I think we got people that can do it. We also have some employees.
Well,
no,
we've got 3 guys. And there are times, when there's only 2 of them working. And this would be a great fill. We're paying for that, so.
and the other one was for the old town hall, it was basically just taking the mulch to gravel to make it easier to maintain.
I think
I
we
don't
can,
think there's any reason we couldn't dump our own rock in there. If they
well,
have time
if
to
you're
do it.
already doing, aren't you gonna replace?
Yeah, we are
some
gonna
rock
replace
anyway?
on the hill and,
So
in
just
the
do it
park.
all, a couple haulings again.
Yeah.
That, and we already have bushes that need replaced. You know, on our entry signs, we've got dead greens that need to be replaced, so,
they never looked good from the,
no,
they
No.
struggled.
yeah.
so, shall I move on? Tim, you brought something up earlier about umbrella insurance, taking another look at that, see if we need to increase it some more. Do you wanna wait till next month, or do you wanna talk about it now, or?
We have
Honestly, we should
umbrella,
just,
we have umbrella.
right, but you
We have enough
increased it,
coverage.
and now we've got the new building, you have more liability, and you need to protect your assets, basically.
Should we have the insurance company give us
I think we
recommendations?
should get quotes on 5, 7, and 10, maybe. I mean,
Mhm.
Okay, can you do that for us? Amy?
Yeah, I can put in Epic, as our insurance.
Yeah.
Did you say 5, 7, and 10?
We need to look at that, just.
I would ask them what they recommend.
I know I'd have to see what we have now, but
We have 4 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just approved 2 years ago.
So well, at minimum, we need to get that increased, because that's not enough to replace this building should something happen. Yeah, it covers, in most cases, our officers, things like that, but if something happens here, yeah, for some.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else?
Umbrellas are usually cheaper than general liability.
yeah, it's a lot cheaper,
Because they only come in after your first layer of insurance is covered.
and usually they have an SIR, which is a self-insured retention limit, so that usually takes another $10,000 off if that was your SIR limit. So
I will,
umbrella coverage is really pretty inexpensive if you look at
Mhm.
for protecting your interest and your liability.
I can send an email out, and then when they respond, I'll just forward it on to everybody.
All right, anything else?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Maybe a second.
Second.
Well, wait, no, so,
Anybody out there
Yeah.
have anything? All right, second, Tammy seconded. All in favor of the adjourn?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you all.
Thank you, John.
No problem.
I got a bunch of them in Mount Van, like this.
Sort out, so, yeah, good use of that.
You probably paid for it.
I got all kinds of tips from all my.
Oh, yeah, we'll have to do it through our office, because we'll be charging money for it. And actually, you have to be able to handle money, so yeah, we'll probably set it up on the same way we do shelter house, we'll just have a different contract. But we've got, well, we've got it so streamlined now that, we,
Yeah.
like, for our park rental, Yeah, they
I
have a
fell and twisted
contract
my
park and
ankle
they have
this
to put
morning.
in a credit
Oh,
card.
man, I hate
They
that.
just have it, we have it registry. Yeah, and they just schedule it.
Falling again.
No.
I had a hard time getting up there.
Yep. Don't bounce back like we used to do
I don't bounce back at all.
it. We don't bounce at all, but we don't.
Yeah.
We already had, they're running some of the electricals running off of the town hall to take care of the problem we had out front.
Okay.
Breakers, you don't know,